There we go. Okay. So we're going to start on our backs today. We don't very often do that, but we're going to do a little bit of breath work from our backs. And also, it's a good start for some movement through the pelvis that I find to be really helpful for the low back. So as you make your way onto your back, you are welcome to set a prop underneath your legs if you want to. But as you settle onto your back, take a couple of long, slow breaths. And notice if there are places in your body that are resisting relaxing, resisting letting go. As you take your breaths, do little movements through your body. Move through shoulders, hips, your head. Just shift a little bit. Or maybe even think of it as a big fidget. And then let yourself come back to some stillness. And just take a moment to notice if there are places that we're willing to let go after that fidget. And there's no right or wrong answer. Just a chance to notice. And now you're welcome to set a hand at your heart and a hand at your belly if you want to, or you can just let your arms rest. But begin to find your 3-part breath. That's an inhale into your belly, then your ribs, then your chest. And then an exhale back through your chest, ribs, then belly. Inhaling into your belly, ribs, chest. Exhale back through chest, ribs, belly. And take a couple more breaths this way, finding that order of filling yourself up. And even finding a slight pause at the top of the inhale. And a slight pause at the bottom of the exhale. Then let the work with your breath go. Take another moment to simply allow yourself to feel your body in this space. And any change that you might be experiencing compared to when we first laid down. And now if you'd like, you can take your feet a little wider, drop your knees in toward each other to touch or to come toward touching. And then start some pelvic movement here, a little bit of tilt up and down. That's an anterior tilt and a posterior tilt. And as you do this anterior and posterior tilting of the pelvis, you may notice a little lightening or lifting of the low back, and then a pressing of the low back. And you also might not notice much movement depending on how tight or stiff you are. There's no right or wrong here, just notice. And now come to your neutral with your pelvis. Heel toe your feet back into about hip distance. And then you're pulling right knee up towards your chest. And you might be more narrow in toward the middle or more wide out toward your side. You choose. And then if you want to, you can lengthen your left leg all the way out. Might have to move a prop to do that if you have something under your legs. But then a little rock side to side here with your knee in toward your side. And now lengthen your leg up toward the ceiling. And you can use clasped hands around the backside of your thigh. You can use a strap around your foot, whatever you would like to do here. We're gonna do a little pulsing. So a little lengthen and then bend, lengthen and bend. If you're clasping behind the backside of your hamstrings or behind your thigh, then you're pressing hamstrings into your hand. And then you can also move your hands around. But otherwise, it's that reach up through the heel, work your leg as straight as your body is ready for, and then bend your knee again. Just one more here. Extend, and then go ahead and bend your knee in toward your chest again. And if it feels good, you can make those side to side movements a little bit bigger. And then set right foot down, draw left knee towards your chest or towards your side. Feel free to lengthen the right leg out if you would like to. And then just little movements to start with. Little side to side. Just allowing a little bit of movement and a little bit of squish into the gut. And now extend your leg. And remember, you can use hands clasped behind the backside of your thigh if you want, or you can take a strap around the ball of your foot. You choose. But then you're doing these pulses where you're extending straight, maybe pressing hamstrings into your hands, and then bending your knee. Maybe moving your hands up and down around the backside of your thigh. Kind of make this stretch what it needs to be for you today. One more. And then as you bend your knee and draw your knee back in toward your side, take that side to side movement again. You choose how big the movement is, but you're welcome to make it big if you want to. And now set both feet on the ground. Walk your feet wider than your mat and slowly take your knees from side to side, doing your windshield wipers. And as you take these windshield wipers, it entirely depends on how high you lift the opposite hip, or you might get a little extra length through your quads. You might get a little lift of your hip. And sometimes that even goes into your biggest hip flexor, your psoas. Sometimes, not always. Take just one more on each side. And then as you come back to center, we'll pull both knees in toward your chest or in toward your middle. You choose, out wide or narrow. And then walk your hips as you rock side to side. Walk your sitting bones more toward the foot of your mat, lengthening through the low back. And then take your knees in some circles. As you find those circles, the intention is to give that movement to the low back, a little massage from the ground. Take your circles in the other direction. And now roll over to one side. You're going to push yourself up to your tabletop, hands and knees, and then settle hips back toward heels into your child's pose, as far back with hips as your body is ready for. And as you let your head settle, feel free to bring it to the ground or to a prop. You're welcome to rock across your forehead here, maybe adding a little bit more of that movement in for your neck. And now as you inhale and rise to tabletop, your hands and knees position, pause here and set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Find a rotation of elbow pits forward and push to expand into the upper back. And then tuck toes and lift hips. Come to your downward facing dog pose. And from your down dog, paddle out. Bend one knee at a time, allowing a little hip sway. And then as you come back to a more neutral place in your down dog, find a little extra push from your back muscles out through your hands, a little extra lift of your sitting bones. And then walk your feet forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take as many steps to get there as your body would like. Use props to help get there if you would like to. As you inhale and lengthen part way, extend ribs and collarbones forward, send sitting bones up. Exhale, fold over your legs. And then before we rise up, let's take a little bit of pedaling here. So set props underneath your hands, extending your heart. And then bend one knee at a time slowly. As you bend one knee at a time, keeping both heels planted, allow the movement to happen from knees and hips. As you work one knee bent, the other knee straight. Think of the straight leg sitting bone and lift it up higher. One more on each side. And then come back to a neutral place, a little softness to your knees. Bring your hands up to your knees. Extend your heart forward. And then work your way up your legs to rise, all the way up to stand. And then we're resetting ourselves, feet inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then root them down. Pause for a moment, palms turned forward, eyes can be opened or closed. Take a big breath. Just recognize how your body feels in this moment. What sort of shifts or changes have happened from just this bit of movement we've done? Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, soft through the knees, hinge and fold. Again, feel free to use props. Inhale, lengthen part way. And exhale, fold. And now fingertips can plant on blocks or the floor. Step your right foot back into your lunge. Pause here and bend deeply into your front knee, finding a little bit more dorsiflexion of that left ankle. And then as you work your front leg towards straight, coming to a pyramid pose variation here, or keeping the big toe mount pressing down on your left foot and wrap your left hip back. Send your sitting bones up, extend your heart forward, and then inhale, bend into your front knee. Use your back toes to help you pop forward with your right foot. On your exhale, step back with your left foot. And then find that deep bend into your front knee. Find your dorsiflexion. Find a longer spine. Ribs and collarbones move forward. And then work your front leg towards straight. Again, find that place of pushing with your right big toe mound and the wrapping back of your right hip. Send sitting bones up and then lengthen through your front. Inhale, bend into your front knee and step forward. Now exhale, right foot steps back, and we're going to walk hands to the inside and pivot on our feet. So we're going to take a wide stance toward the right side. Pinky toe edges are parallel to the short edges of your mat. As you inhale and extend your heart long, think of lifting sitting bones up. And then exhale, hinge and fold as much as your body would like today. Maybe you're setting elbows or hands on the ground. Maybe you're staying up a little bit lifted. Find a rooting of your pinky toe edges. A lift of sitting bones. And then maybe a pedaling out. Maybe bend one knee at a time, once again in this position. Inhale, extend your heart. Exhale, pivot, turning to face the front of your mat, turning on your feet. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, left foot steps back. And again, you can use props to help you make that transition to face the left side. Wide stance fold. One more time as you root down through the pinky toe edges and lift sitting bones. Now you can work into this as deeply as your body would like. So maybe that's reaching through your legs back behind you. Maybe that's staying up on props with your hands. Sitting bones lift. Take a full breath. And then as you extend your heart, start to pivot again toward the front of your mat. And then stepping forward into your forward fold. Take a moment here to inhale and lengthen. Exhale, take as deep a fold as your body would like, which could include elbows or hands at thighs. And now work your hands up your legs to rise all the way up to stand. And as you come up to your standing position, feel free to come to a wall or something to stand next to. We'll do our quad stretching from an upright position. So as you find your balance onto your left foot, you can reach the left hand out if you would like to. You can use a strap around your right foot if you want. You can just bend your right knee and not hold the foot. Or you can lift your knee up towards your chest, slide your hand down your shin, and take a hold of your foot behind you. To find which variation works the best for you. And then start to lengthen your thigh bone down, regardless of how you're holding the foot or not holding the foot. Hug in with the muscles of your thighs. Think of hugging into midline. Pull in through the belly and the ribs. As you reach down and start to push back through the right thigh, lift your left shoulder up and back. Full big breath. And then gently release your foot. And as you come back to a standing position, again, you're welcome to use a wall. Right foot is balancing. Left knee bends. Stay here, use a strap, or lift your knee up and find your foot to hold it behind you. Hug in with the muscles of your thighs and start that reach down through the left thigh. Pull the belly and ribs in. Lift the right shoulder up. Take a deep breath. And then gently release the foot and come back to stand at the front of your mat. Feet inner hip distance apart and parallel. Once more, turn your palms forward. Eyes can be opened or closed, your choice. Take a deep breath. Samastitihi, even balance. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, soft through the knees, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Plant hands, step back, downward facing dog pose. Take a moment for a big breath. And then work knees to the ground, push hips back toward heels. Find your child's pose. And now gently push yourself up to your seat. Come all the way down onto sitting bones. And we'll take legs out in front. Feel free to set a prop underneath your legs if you would like a little more hamstring support. Sometimes a roll of blanket or a bolster is nice. Shift your sitting bones, move them back and broad. And then as you push down with your heels and lift up with your heart, think of tilting the belly slightly forward. A little anterior tilt, or at least in that direction. If you so choose, you can turn palms up and rotate open with your arms, coming to gratitude with the arms here. You can always keep your fingertips pressing down for support. Take a full breath. And now as you hinge forward and fold, walk your hands down the outsides of your legs toward your feet, but they don't have to come to your feet. Take a full inhale and lengthen through your front. Exhale, hinge and fold, maybe a little bit further. Deep, full breath. And then inhale, bring yourself back upright. And you're bringing footprints to the ground, and we'll make our way all the way onto our backs to right where we started from. So as you come down onto your back, once again, take a full breath and allow your body to settle. Allow any places of tension to let go if that's there for you today. If your body's holding on and it doesn't want to let go, just notice it. And do a little fidgeting, little movement. Maybe it's a little bigger than when we first came to it. And then let yourself settle again. And now let's take right ankle crossing over left knee for your figure four. Feel free to put a prop underneath your foot if you'd like to, or you can lift your legs up toward your torso. It's entirely up to you. Take a big, deep breath. Rock a little side to side, walk your sitting bones a little further forward. And then if you want to add the hamstring length, you can lengthen the left leg toward the ceiling. Wherever you are, a little tilt down of sitting bones. Untuck the tail, that's another way to think of it. And now bend your left knee, and we'll take this into a spinal twist. So we're taking the same shape of our legs in the figure four, but over to the left side. So maybe your right foot is coming to the ground. You can stay right here with maybe a little push or a pull onto that top thigh, or you're welcome to hold your shin, your right shin with your left hand, and then start to disconnect your left leg from your ankle and begin to walk it over to the right side. Maybe you reach out for your foot here with your right hand. Maybe you don't. This can add a little quad stretch into this hip stretch if that's what your body would like. Take one more full, long breath here. And then if you are holding your foot, you can let it go and reconnect. Right ankle on left knee or thigh. Then come on back to center with your figure four. Hug your legs in for another full breath. And then release your feet down and cross left ankle over right knee or thigh. Start to find the variation of your figure four. Again, you're welcome to put your right foot on a prop. Then rock a little, walk your sitting bones further forward. With feet flexed, if it feels good to lengthen the right leg and take that hamstring extension, you're welcome to. But once again, remember that tilt of the pelvis, a little tilt down of sitting bones. One more big breath right here. Then bend your right knee, and then we'll take the spinal twist over to the right side with your left foot. And your choice, stay here, maybe a little push or pull on your left thigh, or hold your left shin and start to inch your right foot to the left. Maybe reaching out for your foot with your left hand, maybe not. Take what's right for your body right now. And then if you're holding the right foot with your left hand, you can let that go. Reconnect ankle and thigh, and then come back up to center. One more hug in with your legs. Full breath. And then set both feet down and start to make your way into a really comfortable rest. Start to find your way to your Shavasana, whatever that looks like. And take a long, slow breath. Start to gently add little movements into fingers, into toes, maybe a little wrist rotation or ankle rotation. And when you're ready to, you can bend your knees, roll over to your side. Take a couple of long, slow breaths. And then gently press yourself back upright to your seat. And with your hands coming to connect at heart center, sit even taller. And fill yourself up with breath. Have a very peaceful, very beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.